Hi, welcome to Dice Control Dojo. I'm Phil and I practice every day and share my tips so we can all do better at the casino. First off, I want to say thank you to all of the people that have signed up for this video series. I'm hoping you're finding it enjoyable. I know I am. I know it's keeping me doing what I do each and every day, and I'm excited to share this stuff with you. I hope it's educational. I hope you find me interesting, and keep commenting on what you're seeing. And as we move forward to all of this analysis, I'd love everybody's input so I can see maybe I'm not teaching or talking about how to fix things properly, or you have a different take on it. I'd love to hear your views on that. So make sure you comment on our upcoming videos, because we're going to talk about each issue one by one and how to fix it. So today's analysis is about dice movement. And what we're talking about today is the previous analysis was what's going on in the air. So you can look at it, what are the different ways it responds in the air, how it lands, which direction the dice are going when they land. Are they together? Are they apart? One ahead, one behind, one top, one bottom. Today, once they land, is another way. So when you're at a casino, you're concentrating, I know I'm concentrating on my landing zone and where I'm throwing it, right? So sometimes I can't even tell with all the chips down there on what the dice did, right? I can't even see if I hit that landing zone because, there may be things, there's all kinds of stuff going on, as opposed to my nice comfortable man cave where I can see that, or I can go to a video and play back and say, yes, I hit that landing zone perfectly. But after it lands, this is another way, a third way that you can tell how your dice are doing based on where they go. Now, with that being said, any chip that hits on the table is done. Where you can't fix that, right? That's not an issue that we can address. You're just going to have to go back to how was the throw or how was the landing. Hopefully you can see that when you're throwing. But a lot of things can be told by what goes on with how those dice react once they land, okay? So based on what they do after they land might tell you another issue you might have, or the original issue. So say I'm throwing the dice, right? And say, let's just take, for instance, I have way too much pressure on my middle finger and my thumb. So I'm not releasing it properly. It's not centrifugal force. I got way too much of a grip on there, right? Generally, let's just say, when you're analyzing what's going to happen in the air, when you do that, those dice are going to either split out like this because of the pressure, split into each other and hit each other. So if that's the case with the dice, right, when they land, you might have hit the target perfectly, but they're landing at a different angle. They're not even landing properly. So there's the second recognition. So if people are looking at it in the air, they're seeing that they're splitting right off the bat. If you're not looking at the air because you're focused on your target zone and they land funky, so you're looking at that target and you see that they both landed weird, right? That's the second way you can recognize what went wrong with that dice. But then the third way is, say they did separate like this and then they split like this. So say you didn't see how they were in the air, right? Too crazy in the casino. You didn't see the landing zone because there's chips everywhere. But you do see that the dice went like this. Well, that's an indication that you might have had too much pressure on your on your middle finger and your thumb, and they split. So recognizing how the dice land might also be a telltale sign on how you're doing. So what are the different ways that dice react once they land? Many different ones. I've talked endlessly. If you've missed your target, you overshot it, and you dead cat and they sit right there, that's a dead cat. For me, it's always a 7, but every once in a while it's not. But that means you overshot, but they at least stayed, hopefully they stayed together and they stayed tight, and that's okay. What are other ways that the dice can land after they land? What happens to them? So say they land and they both go into the corner like this, right? Well, that's usually a shoulder issue. They're coming in at an angle. So if you hit the target but they shot this way, that could be an upper body issue. If they hit the target exactly where they went and they shot to the right, that's once again, did you have your shoulder going straight, or was it coming at an angle? Or was your thumb pointing that way? We'll talk about that on each and every one of those videos. What other ways do dice react once they land? Say they land and one is way higher than the other when it lands, or it spins more than the other. That's an issue with your fingers. What if one hits the back wall first, then the other? Well, that's the problem, that you didn't do centrifugal force, and your dice, one of the dice was off because your finger was off. So that's another indication. So how the dice react, if one plops up and goes this way and the other sits down, what if one they hit the back wall and then this one rolls way past, right? This is another indication that your fingers weren't exactly a ledge. Your thumb wasn't exactly maybe directly down on top of it. It could have been over the left or the right, or your fingers were off a little bit like this or like this. So if that's the case, you might get a spinner that comes out more than the other. Remember, as always, we're trying to cut down the randomness. So it could have been a perfect throw. And the dice crew, we talked about this quite a bit, that threw it perfectly. They were in the air together perfectly. They landed on the zone we wanted perfectly. They hit the back wall, and what happened? Well, here's when those people say dice control doesn't work. Maybe the dice, when they hit that back wall, one was just a little bit lower than the other. One hit one of the diamonds, and the other didn't, and that just sat one and spun the other. We can't control that. There's nothing you could have done to fix that. That's just part of the randomness of dice or craps. But if you're practicing every day and you're consistently seeing one fly further than the other, then that's when we have an issue. And that's where we have to have a discussion on how to fix it. So when we're talking about dice movement, when they land, we're talking about, hopefully they come up, pop down, and do this. If they don't, what are the other options? We're talking about one landing first and going to the left, to the right, both of them going to the left or the right, right? One going, hitting the back wall and spinning way out, one hitting the back wall and staying put. Dead cat, when they both sit right on the edge. So each one of these may be a problem with your throw. And in upcoming videos, we're going to break down every one of those landings and what to do about it, what's causing it, so you can recognize the issue and hopefully fix it. So hopefully this whole series of analysis helps, because I really want you to be able to utilize all of my videos, get through them properly, but then be able to pull them up when you might be having a problem and hopefully fixing it, so that when you get to the casino next time, you're having a perfect throw. And remember, with all these dice, all these issues, I am a student. I'm not a teacher. I'm a person that learned about a lot of this through the years, and I'm just sharing what I know. It may not be right. That's why I want your comments and your feedback. Of the 300 people that have signed up for me so far, I know there's some experts out there and might be saying, this is total B. This isn't how it's supposed to be. This is what's going on with that throw, not this. And that's what I want. Some great debate so we can analyze that, and hopefully in future videos I can update it and say, hey, when we were talking about arc, I forgot to mention this, I forgot to mention this. So hopefully we can make it a perfect spot for everybody to share their journey at crap throwing, and we have a great time doing it. So as always, join me tomorrow where we're going to talk about the first part of fixing stuff, the arc. How do we fix the arc? What's wrong with the arc and how to fix it? So we're starting our air series tomorrow on the arc. So join me tomorrow. And as always, the best strategy is to throw for a long, long time.